Greetings and welcome back. We've got a great show coming up for you today. On a mission, caring about seniors, and of course, the Jacksonville Buzz. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Jacksonville Buzz. I'm Steve Strum. This morning we have Leela Ansart from Leadership Impact Strategies.
Thank you, Steve.
Did I get all that right?
You did.
All right, this is over. All right, so we were talking a lot offset about what you do and the unique space that you're in.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what makes you different.
Well, Leadership Impact Strategies is a strategic advisory firm. We help companies in the mid-market space, primarily professional services, tech, healthcare, to optimize their businesses and deal with the challenges that company leaders are facing in today's age. We do a lot with talent management and development, and we're very big on responsiveness and getting ROI for the investment that these corporations are giving.
So when you're talking about this type of model, I hear optimization of companies that are, some people that the really big guys probably have this in-house, but the mid-market people that's a line item that they may not have full time.
Yeah.
So when you get into a business, how do you help a CEO or a group of partners in a firm in technology, let's say, right? Where the work that they do, most people don't even understand. And when they hire people, the information that they're sharing with the people that they hire are speaking in a language that leadership doesn't understand.
Yeah.
What do you do when you go in there, and how do you help them become the best version of that company they can do?
Well, we take a very consultative approach with these types of situations. IT, for example, you mentioned, there's a lot changing in the workforce right now with what the IT workforce is actually wanting. So we come in and we act as a translator per se. So we're able to hear from the workforce themselves, and then we're able to hear from the leadership and do some figuring out of where the disconnects are. Like, for example, many companies right now are doing some restructuring, reorganization due to the impacts of everything coming out of the pandemic. And there's a lot of questions there around what needs to be done and what the workforce is going to require in order to stay engaged and delivering. So we come in and we help to co-create a solution with that company to be able to have those solutions be enacted.
As you mentioned, through the coming out of pandemic, yes, many things have changed. And as businesses are looking to be more efficient in an ROI, when you go there, they would have to say, okay, well, this is great. It's going to cost X, Y, Z. What's the ROI that you have? I know you have some stats out here that not just justify it, but help us understand as leaders in the businesses that how this is not just a thing that's kind of cool, but it's critically important to the success of the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a stat that says that when you lose a key person in your organization, it actually costs your company 1.5 times that person's salary. So if you think about over the Great Resignation that we're sort of coming out of after the pandemic, and you think about the costs that organizations have gone through when they've lost so many key people, what we do is we look at those numbers and we say, how can we not only save you in terms of not having those retention issues, but also how can we help your organization to have greater engagement and therefore greater results. Personally, my company, we aim for a 5 to 10 times ROI. So whatever that investment is, we expect that company is going to make that back 5 to 10 times.
So if I give you $1 by listening to everything you say and doing what we're supposed to do, I will get $5 to $10 back.
That's my guiding philosophy.
Understood.
In other words, as my firm chooses the clients that we work with, that's one of the boxes that has to be checked. It's not necessarily a guarantee.
And well, of course, right? I have to implement it. You can come up with the ideas, but if I get a box of ideas and don't do anything, then that's up to me too. One of the things you said about, as we kind of take this away to find out more about you, how are you dealing with the great resignation, come out of pandemic, and now we're going into the exodus of the baby boomers into the workforce with a whole bunch of young men and women down here that may have been in high school the last time we went through a disjointment of the economy. What are you telling people to do?
Yeah.
Because you got like all this brain over here, and all these people with a lot of talent and potential over here, these people leave before these people learn what to do.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Well, that's actually one of the contributors to the tight labor force right now, is that there's so many boomers that are leaving and we don't have the same amount of individuals coming in. But yeah, I mean, there's a huge need right now for reskilling and upskilling. It's not just getting the replacements for this boomer generation in the workforce. It's about bringing in people with the right skills and with skills where they're able to pivot and move and be agile as businesses grow. Things are changing a lot quicker than they did when the boomers were in their prime. And there's a ton of need in the organization for leadership development, leadership coaching, et cetera. In fact, I'll share one quick stat from HBR, Harvard Business Review, that says that organizations with programs such as leadership development and coaching have a 34% higher retention than those that do not.
Wow. So when we go through the statistical analysis of those items, you can kind of tie into all those things.
Yes.
And okay, if people want to find out more about you, your firm, or how to engage you, what's the best way to connect?
Absolutely. So our firm's website is leadershipimpactstrategies.com. Great way to check us out, learn more about us, and get in contact.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. It's fabulous. And I know you got some events and stuff coming up. Can we
Yes.
find out what you're up to on your website?
Yes, everything's there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for joining us on the Jacksonville Buzz. If you like us, share us. And remember, live with gratitude.
Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it's my pleasure to have with me today Darren Dameron with Jasper Engines and Transmissions. Welcome, Darren.
Thank you, Wendy. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you. So, Darren, I know we've been playing through LinkedIn, connecting, and it's so funny. I'm been able to use the show to actually meet people on LinkedIn. But you are the regional vice president, if I'm not mistaken, of Jasper Engines, right?
That
and
is
Transmissions.
correct. Yes, ma'am. Over the Southeast.
Oh, the Southeast division. So, how did you get into that?
Well, I was selling phone, cable, and internet, and was a really young man. We're talking, 20 years ago, and I wanted to get into management. And there was an ad in the paper for a local manager for a transmission shop in Columbus, Georgia. And I was like, I want to be a manager. So
you'll take it, right? Go look at it.
Went and they hired me on the spot, and I was there for a few years. And then after a few years, just through struggles as these transmissions, got more and more complex, our builder was struggling to build quality rebuilds. And so I started trying some remanufactured units, and I found Jasper. And so I bought a few Jasper units. The sales rep came by and built a relationship with me. And within a short period of time, I was working for Jasper, and that's 17 years ago.
It's all about those relationships, right?
That is correct.
I tell people that all the time. So I know Jasper personally only because some people I know use them. So I know them through their refurbishing of engines and transmissions, but I know they do a lot more than that.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
tell us a little bit about Jasper Engines and Transmissions.
Well, we're the nation's largest drivetrain remanufacturing company. So we do engines, transmissions, differentials, and transfer cases for your light to medium duty applications, and that's cars and trucks.
You do boats too, though, right?
We do. We do
I was going to say, I thought you did boats.
We do the inboard gas engines. We do the outboard Yamaha 2 and 4 stroke engines on those. We also specialize in diesel engines and fuel and air components for the diesel. So like your injectors, pumps, turbos, different, EGR coolers and different things like that. Through some acquisitions, we are now able to service like your Class 8 over the road and larger industrial applications as well. So we can do those, those semi fuel and air components and also the transmissions differentials for those.
Wow. You guys have really grown.
We have, when I started with the company, we had 1,200 associates, and we have over 4,000 now. And we just purchased another company earlier this week out of Michigan, and I'm not for sure what their headcount is now, but it just continues to grow. It's good to be a part of Jasper at this time.
Okay. So I'm from Michigan, and so that's how I learned a lot about cars, because I love older cars. And so unfortunately with older cars, you do have to refurbish a lot of things if you want to keep them the way they are.
That's right.
So I've gone through that several times with many cars.
And that's all that, that we ask. Our largest customers are independent garages and also our fleets. And the independent garages have to give the customer an option. Is it a good time for you to repower this
Right.
vehicle, or do you need to go and replace this vehicle if it's just not worth putting the money into? And the fleets, it's more difficult for them to replace those vehicles now. So our business with them has grown astronomically over the last 5 years because they need to put the engines and transmissions, into their vehicles
Right.
as soon as possible and get those trucks up and going.
Well, that's great for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're also celebrating an anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the 80th.
This is our 80th year anniversary this year. And I'm so proud to be a part of the company the last 17 years. The future looks really, really bright. We started out of a wartime need back in the 40s, just because there was no engines or transmission. Everything was going to make
Right.
military vehicles and things like that. And now, because we're an employee-owned company, our goal and our drive and our purpose is for our associates. So our associates can retire and have a nice life once they're done with their career at Jasper.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I know you give 110% to 200% to your company, but you also find time to be a great part of the community.
Yes.
And so you are part of the Jax Chamber Transportation and Logistics Council.
I am, and very proud to be a part of that. This past year, I was the programs chair, so I had the opportunity of meeting a lot of new speakers that came in that service, our council, and building the relationships with them, and then coming up this. Actually, tomorrow, we're having our retreat, and I'll officially be voted in as the president for next year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So if someone wants to, get more information about Jasper Engines and Transmissions, how do they reach out to you?
Well, one thing that they can do, they can get a hold of me easily. Darren.dameron@jasperengines.com is my email address. Or you could call the 800 number and they can connect you with me in my voicemail. Or you could just, reach out to jasperenginetransmissions.com if you want to learn more. If you're somebody that wants to do business with us, that'll get back to our local sales reps. We have 170 sales reps nationwide. And they are on top of all those things, so they'll be able to service you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing some information about Jasper Engines and Transmissions. I'm so and congratulations on your upcoming presidency and your 80th anniversary.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for joining us for another episode of On a Mission. To learn more about Darren Dameron and Jasper Engines and Transmissions, please go to jasperenginesandtransmissions.com, and we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.
Greetings and welcome to the latest segment of Caring About Seniors. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton. I sit down with Oasis Senior Advisors Jacksonville and we discuss all aspects of senior living. Today, Al Begocious from Oasis has brought along the wonderful Divya Desai from Beyond Parkinson's. Welcome.
Hello.
So Divya, tell me, what is Beyond Parkinson's?
Beyond Parkinson's is my business that I established in order to help patients with Parkinson's disease. There is so much more to life than just Parkinson's disease, and I want to help them see what's beyond that. How can we still continue to live our life to the fullest despite the diagnosis? So hence the name Beyond Parkinson's.
Now, you are an occupational therapy that specializes in neurological disorders.
Correct.
Tell me what it is that you actually do to assist patients.
Okay. So I'm an occupational therapist, and it means I help my patients get better at doing their occupations. Now, occupations is anything that we do through the day. It's not just necessarily the job. So first thing when we wake up, getting out of the bed is occupation. Brushing your teeth is occupation. Taking showers, going to bathroom, getting ready to work. Driving is an occupation. Taking care of kids is an occupation. Sexual activity is an occupation. And for that matter, sleep is also an occupation. So if someone had a disorder or a diagnosis that impacts their ability to do a range of occupations, then I can come in as an occupational therapist and help them perform those meaningful tasks more independently. So that's what I do. when I help my patients really get down to the details of what matters to them and how can we still have you perform those activities.
So tell me, how do you approach working with these patients? They've come to you, they've obviously been diagnosed with some sort of disorder. Is there a sort of an initial consultation and then you explain and lay out what your process is?
Correct. So initial evaluation is very extensive. It takes anywhere between an hour to hour and a half, depending on how complex the situation is. I start with their history, how long they've been having those symptoms for, and really how it impacts their life. Then going into the details of our discipline, so looking at their range of motion, muscle strength, how their coordination is, looking at their cognition, seeing how their cognition may be impacting how they perform their daily lives. And I also look at their home environment, because a lot of times it's not just the diagnosis that sets a person up for difficulties, it could be just the home environment. So it could be a loose rug or a charging cord that may be in the way, and that can make a person fall.
Yes.
So really going from, as soon as I enter their home, actually I'm already doing my assessment. How many steps do they have to get into the house? Are they broken? Do they have any railing to hold on to the steps? And then kitchen and bathroom are usually high fall risk area as well. So I'll take my patient into the kitchen, take them into the bathroom, bedroom, and see how they move around in their own space, and if there is anything that can be readjusted even to help create better living space for them. So that is a very extensive evaluation. And at the end of evaluation, I have that one-on-one conversation with them to find out what are some goals that matter to them. Not every person wants to work on the same things. So that's the good part about occupational therapy. We work with our patients to help them do things that matter most to them, which means it's going to be different for Al and it's going to be different for you.
Sure. Al, I'm sure you've seen a number of situations where you've had to call on Divya to help.
Yes, and it's hard because I want to just give you 3 letters: activities of daily living, which is really what the occupational therapy engages in. And what people do is they get into this denial that nothing's wrong. And so they leave things to chance. And if you have a situation, face it head on. That's what she does. Get a grasp on what you can do to make your life easier, and things that she said, the rugs, where you have to reach things, and equally important is overhead lighting.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
As we get older, our ability to see items with the same amount of light changes. So actually, as we get older, we have to adjust the lighting and make it a little bit brighter because our eyes are not the same anymore. And that gets overlooked a lot of times, which can increase the risk for falls for these patients.
Of course. Now, you've brought some interesting stuff with you. We've only got a short time left, but I would like to know what you have here.
Right. So this is called a long shoehorn. I'm sorry. So this is particularly helpful for patients who have a difficulty bending over to put their shoes on. Sometimes that itself can lead to balance issues.
Sure.
So this shoehorn we are all aware of. This is just the longer version of it. Then I brought a sock aid. So this is a nifty device as well. What you do is really put a sock on top of it, swing it out, put your foot through it, and when you pull the string, the sock goes on. So
that's the hardest thing for seniors is to put their socks on.
Right. So it eliminates the need for them to bend over, and it's very easy to use. It takes just a little bit of practice. I'll show one more nifty little device. This is a reacher, also known as picker-upper.
Picker-upper,
yes. And all you do is just pull on that lever, and it helps patients pick up small items from the floor or anything that's higher up. And that can also eliminate a lot of falls that may happen. So I use these gadgets to help them perform their activities of daily living a little bit better.
Thank you so much for coming in and telling us about what you do. I'm sure there's going to be an opportunity for you to be able to come back because this is so important for you to help. It's not just Parkinson's, it's other neurological disorders too.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Divya, and always good to see you, Al.
You too.
Thank you.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know any more information about Divya, you can find it on beyondparkinsons.com or on iwannabuzz.com. Thank you for watching. Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Jacksonville Buzz. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton. Joining me in the studio now is Crystal McCraw, and she is a co-owner of Massage in Session. And we're going to find out exactly what that is. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. I'm very interested to find out all about Massage in Session, because you're not just any old massage therapist.
No.
You are a neuromuscular
Muscular therapist. Yes.
So tell me what that is.
So a lot of people don't know what neuromuscular therapy is, but it's not like your spa massage where you're going to relax and, and get kind of like a spa kind of thing. It's more of detailed therapy for pain. So if you're having neck pain or back pain, we handle working with you to figure out what's causing the pain. We try to get down to the root cause of what's causing pain, and we use different techniques, neuromuscular therapy techniques, to help alleviate pain long term. So that's what we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, in a nutshell. So what services do you provide other than, obviously, a deep massage?
Yeah, so what we do, other than neuromuscular therapy, which is one of our core things that we do sports massage. We do have some professional athletes that come to us. Or anybody who's a runner or who office job, just any kind of position or a job that can put you in a position that can cause added stress on the body. So we work with those individuals to help alleviate muscle tightness, pain patterns. We even have people who've came to us for chronic pain and have got long-term relief from having chronic pain. So,
is it painful? I mean, obviously they come in with pain.
But you're coming with pain. Yeah. So we like to tell our patients that come to us that you're coming to us with pain. So of course, there may be some kind of uncomfortable aspects of it, but we do teach you how to breathe and how to breathe through different uncomfortable moments. And when you're more relaxed with our therapy, the better results that you'll get. So it is uncomfortable in certain aspects, but we try to make it as comfortable as possible, if that makes sense.
I mean, yes. I think the end result is always what's comfort.
Absolutely.
Because you're aiming for that,
absolutely,
for that pain-free situation.
Yes.
So have you had any challenges in our current environment?
Oh, gosh, yes. When the pandemic first hit, we were shut down for almost 2 months. So that was definitely a challenge. We had to think of creative new ways to adjust to the environment. One thing we did, we started adding more inventory and things like that and trying to be more creative. Sometimes crisis can bring out the most innovative things for us and for many others. So what we did is, actually our customers were very, very generous. They kept buying their monthly plans. They kept buying package deals. They were like, you're not shutting down. So, but it really, really got us through. It really did.
Why do you think that individuals that seek your services?
That's a great question. Typically, usually people come to us when all else has failed. They've gone to their general practitioner, they've gone to a chiropractor, they've gone to physical therapy, and those complementary therapies work for them, but it's just not giving them the long-term relief that they're looking for. Right. Sometimes they don't know what is causing the pain. When they've gone to the doctor, they don't get a diagnosis, so they come to us and they're saying, I don't know what else to do. I've heard so much about you guys from word of mouth, which is one of our biggest marketing kind of things, and they'll come to us. And I know one lady, she had chronic back pain for years, and she said, I've been everywhere else. I don't know what else to do, and I've heard about you guys. Can you help me? So I brought her in, and she was a runner, and when she came to me at first, she was hunched over and couldn't do anything. And by the end of our therapy sessions, over a course of 4 to 6 weeks, she's back to running again. So so those are the kind of people who seek our services, usually when all else has failed.
Now, you mentioned there that this particular patient was a 4 to 6 week session. Mm-hmm. Is that the norm, or can sometimes it be relieved? Something could be relieved in one session.
That's too funny. Yeah, some people, the expectation is for us, everybody's different. Everybody has different injuries, different things that they're going through. So what we do is we evaluate your situation. For an injury, we might say, okay, you need to come for a certain amount of sessions in order to kind of see progress. Some people, we've had people who've come one session and gotten relief right away. So we do have those situations, but we try to set realistic expectations for our patients to let them know that ideally we want you to be healed right away, but there are instances where it may take a couple of sessions depending on how the severity of your injury, the severity of your what's going on.
I mean, obviously for you, the if they're cured, it's like, yes,
I know.
You don't want them to come back.
I don't
really.
want them to come back.
It's very nice, but
but you know, we do also promote management. So after you feel better, you still need to seek our services because there's a preventative measure to it as well. So we want you to come monthly. We want you to continue therapy to prevent that next injury, to prevent chronic headaches or things like that. So it is a preventative aspect after therapy is completed to say, you know, we're here long term. This is a lifelong commitment. It really is.
Crystal, how do people find you?
Well, you can find us on www.massageandsessioninc.com. You can go to our website. We're in the Riverside area off Stockton Street, and you can book online as well, which is great. And we have some Black Friday deals coming up. So
watch that space.
Yes, watch it.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know any more information, you can find them at massageinsessioninc.com or on iwannabuzz.com. Thank you for watching. Greetings and welcome to Fashion Focus. The best sweaters for women are a year-round staple, and with winter on the horizon, we have plenty of sweater-wearing days ahead of us. Let's face it, depending on where you live, you might need a sweater for every season. Here are my 5 picks. Number 1, the ballet wrap. Gives you the practicality of a sweater with the style appeal of a cardigan. Lilac remains big for the fashion trends 2023, ensuring this is a sumptuously soft style that can carry you through to next year. And it's by Monsoon. Number 2, stripes are a timeless design, particularly when it comes to knitwear. But this half-zip silhouette adds some trendiness to the look, with an oversized cut making it ideal for layering. You may want to downsize for a more snug fit. That's from Mango. Number 3, one of the best sweater silhouettes this year is the sweater vest, an ideal layering piece. This neutral cable knit from Marks & Spencer has been made with recycled polyester and is perfect to slip on over floaty dresses or floaty tops and blouses for a cozy modern feel. Number 4, after 2 years of lockdowns and anxiety, it's time to have some fun with fashion again. And pink is one of the biggest mood-boosting fashion colours that will carry you through to spring 2023. This elegant alpaca and wool blend cardigan is a must and is ideal to smarten up any outfit from And Other Stories. And finally, florals are not just for spring. This chunky cropped knit by Sandro is the perfect balance of playful and practical and is the ultimate piece for transitional weather by Anthropology. My name is Adrienne Houghton and thank you for watching Fashion Focus. I hope you enjoyed our show today. Don't forget, you can find out more information on iwannabuzz.com. Bye for now.